I support Palestine Action.
We're not interested in talking to fascists.
It's a shameful thing to see Jews standing for genocide.
They've also taken their direct action to parts of the Jewish community.
I'm not doing this anymore. Goodbye.
Palestine Action. Activists or terrorists? That decision will be made in the building behind me by members of parliament who will be voting on its prescription. Palestine Action is a group engaging in what they refer to as direct action. In reality, this translates as little more than smashing up buildings, vandalising community property, and spraying red paint everywhere. A lot of these pieces of direct action have taken place in heavily Jewish areas and even in Jewish businesses, understandably striking fear in the heart of the community. Campaign Against Antisemitism has called for its ban under the Terrorism Act and given the Home Secretary a dossier on the group. The final straw for the rest of the country came recently when the group broke into RAF Bryce Norton and vandalised a military aircraft. So I'm here to speak with members of the public and find out whether they think Palestine Action is activism or terrorism.
Sounds like they should be banned, to be fair. Yeah.
Sounds like they should be banned. Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Shocking rise in anti-Semitism especially since October the 7th, 23.
Do you support their move to ban them as a terrorist group?
I do, yes.
The Home Office is investigating the possibility that Palestine Action is being funded by Iran. When I tell you that, what's your reaction?
Not surprised.
They broke into an RAF base, RAF Bryce Norton, and they vandalised a British military plane.
Right, that's not good because obviously I'm a UK taxpayer, so I'll end up paying for that as well. So,
would you support the ban on Palestine Action?
Yeah, probably would. Yeah.
Does it concern you that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is potentially funding a domestic group to carry on doing God knows what?
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable that if they do continue it and they can raise money, then there'll be a terrorist attack in London just to show disapproval of what's going on. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a good possibility, which is obviously something I don't want to see. So,
Palestine Action is a wonderful group that's doing really important work that we should all be very proud of, and it's a disgust and a disgrace that the government officials here think that they can call them terrorists and stop the important work they're doing. They've harmed no one, and they're trying to stop the genocide that this government and my government in the United States is complicit in.
So there's been part of the reason that there have been calls to ban them as terrorists is one, in recent days, they broke into RAF Bryce Norton where they vandalised a military aircraft. They've also taken their direct action to parts of the Jewish community.
I'm not doing this anymore. Goodbye.
You're not doing this?
No, I just read your microphone.
We're against anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I don't need to.
Are you against anti-Semitism?
I'm against anti-Semitism, but anti-Semitism has been used as a tool and a cudgel by pro-colonization, pro-Zionists to disparage people who just want to stop the genocide and the colonization of the land of Palestine. And Zionism is inherently violent and pro-colonization and pro-apartheid, and it needs to end.
80% of British Jews identify as Zionists.
Good for them. Zionism is a disgusting ideology, and it needs to end.
Does that mean 80% of British Jews are disgusting? Well, it seemed our friend from California wasn't so keen to chat.
It's a shameful thing to see Jews standing for genocide.
So we asked if we could speak with that person about Palestine Action. She was not so friendly, that's fine. It's just interesting to note how the subject of Palestine Action evokes a lot for people, and a lot of the people who have been supportive of the potential prescription have sort of been very, mild-mannered, very easy to speak to, very polite and very nice. A lot, if not all, of the people who don't support the potential ban have been what I would say is quite aggressive and hostile, and at times have targeted me and the camera woman holding the camera. So I just think that's an an important thing to note there.
I think most of the Jewish community are behind the possible prescription of this group.
Yeah.
And are you sympathetic to that?
Oh yes, definitely. Property damage, especially targeted for an ethnic reason, is never a good thing, and it's not advisable. And like I said, it's probably counterproductive. Or it looks like it's going to be counterproductive for these guys, doesn't it?
Do you feel that targeting an RAF base is right or wrong?
I think it's wrong.
Would you support Palestine Action?
I don't support that. Because I think it's actually potentially also misrepresentative of what the Palestinians actually would do. There are possibly Palestinians out there that would also be against that action because they would see it as a form of violence.
That's interesting. So what Palestine Action is doing, could you say that that's actually a disservice to the Palestinian cause?
Potentially it could be, because it may actually misrepresent how some of the Palestinians actually feel in terms of how they should be managing this situation.
Would you support Palestine Action?
I'll say I stand with no. I don't think it's right. I don't agree with their actions. I think sometimes people use a name and a sort of organisation and things that are going on to do stupid things. They just use it as an excuse to be a bit malicious in the name of good when they actually don't really care about what's going on. They just want to sort of provoke stuff.
I think I'll just take that off. There we go, and that can go in the bin. Okay, so I actually see some Palestinian flags right up there, and I think, let's speak to them, see what they think about Palestine Action. I'm from Campaign Against Antisemitism, and we're making a video about Palestine Action and their upcoming prescription. I saw the flags. I just want.
What's the Campaign Against Antisemitism? What's their view?
So our view is that they should be prescribed. We've submitted.
They should be prescribed.
Yes, that's our view.
You're immoral. You have no standing amongst the majority of people in Britain, and I don't want to talk to you.
Do you support Palestine Action?
I support Palestine Action.
Goodbye.
You do.
We all do.
Will you say that? Will you say that after they've been prescribed?
You need to leave.
Will you support them after they've been banned?
We're not interested in talking to fascists. Please leave. Supporting genocide, you need to leave.
I'm not supporting genocide. So as you can see, there's a very hostile atmosphere behind me. We've just been called fascists. We've been called.
Zionism is ethno-supremacy fascism.
So we've had a lot of that. We've had a lot of that. We've been asked to move. We have moved, but now they seem to be harassing us. But there you have it. They don't really seem to be much up for talking. So I think we're going to move on. We spoke to a lot of people today, some nice, some not so nice. Those who condemn the actions of Palestine Action were happy to engage with us in a very nice, calm and polite manner. Those who support the actions of Palestine Action, however, appear to be just as extreme as the members themselves. The second they found out that we did not align with their values, they immediately unleashed a torrent of verbal abuse. And the irony of a Jewish man being called a fascist is not lost on me. Whether or not Palestine Action is a terrorist organisation will be a matter for Parliament to decide. But I want to know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe for more content.